What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here, man. Hopefully, you guys are getting ready for the weekend, getting ready for our last preseason game. If you're new to the channel, man, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. And just had to get some things off my mind. We are going to be doing a live show on Friday for the preseason final game. Just going to kick it. It'll be an opportunity just for us to kind of just talk back and forth a little bit about the upcoming season, because this is pretty much it. Maybe get some of you guys to come in here as guests, hang out with Cave. I'll put that link out there, and it should be a good time. And also Sunday, we're going to talk about the documentary. I got Greg in the house, so Sunday we're going to do that as well. Just kind of get some thoughts and share some memories on that. And we need to make new memories. I do know that, but I thought that was a very well done documentary. So it opened my eyes to some things that I forgot about, wasn't aware of, and also just some thoughts on things I knew about. So, but really what I'm talking about today is just the bombshells that have been dropping left and right with this whole Micah Parsons contract, Jerry Jones. Who do you believe? I mean, you haven't heard a whole lot, but you've seen some tweets from Micah Parsons. He's kind of taking all the Cowboys stuff off his social media pages, put his TBD for his next stop. And, it's just, how did we get here? I mean, you guys tell me, how did we get to this point where you've got your best player, one of the top players in the NFL, kind of, in this situation? And then you listen to Jerry, and, if you follow the documentary, you get a better understanding of kind of how he thinks and the way he operates, and you can agree or disagree. And there's plenty I disagree with, and there's some I agree with. But he goes on Michael Irvin's podcast, and Troy Aikman was on there too. So getting some real good insight. But Jerry Jones, and he said this before, he said that he and Parsons had an agreement on guaranteed money, agreement on salary. And he said the number would have made him the highest paid non-quarterback. And when I hear that, I'm like, well, if that's the case, I mean, if that's true, then, I mean, what more should Jerry be doing? I mean, what more can the Cowboys do? They can't bankrupt their future for it. I mean, he deserves to be the highest paid defensive player. And if what he's saying is true, and that was submitted to the agent didn't want to look at it and wanted more, then I'd have to side with ownership on that, because that seems to be the fair deal. Now, the other side of it is Jerry Jones negotiated with Micah Parsons without his agent. And at the end of the day, the agent works for Micah Parsons. So it almost gives me this feeling that Parsons is caught in the middle of two egos, and one being the agent and obviously the other being Jerry Jones. And I guess there's some history with his agent. And this agent, I guess, does a good job as well. I mean, I'm not I'm not in tight with him, but I know T. Higgins and him had to part ways, and then T. Higgins got his contract done. So maybe he's asking for more than the market bears, and that's his job, right? His job is to maximize and get his player the most money and compensation he can, and the best structure that he can. But the team needs to be protective of themselves as well. And then you go back to a lot of the comments that Micah Parsons said. I don't need to be the highest paid. I know that I want to get other people in here to help us win. So I know money needs to be spread around. And if I'm making X, what's the difference between X and Y when you get over $30 million, let's just say. And I mean, there's something to be said for that. But again, if you're going to believe what Jerry says, and he would have been the highest paid non-quarterback, then that's got to make you wonder, what's going on. I mean, what is this rift? Because we've seen this before with the Cowboys. This is nothing new, but I've never seen it so publicized in the media with Jerry being as vocal as he is. This is telling me that there might be a little truth into what Jerry's saying, but there's a lot of hurt in there, and there's some ego in there. And I think also when you're looking at Micah Parsons' side, I think if you look at his face and you look at him at the practices, and then you see what he's doing, there's a lot of hurt with him, and there's a lot of pride. And I think he's caught in a power struggle now, because if he gives in, then it looks like he caved into Jerry. Jerry's got his heels into the ground. So at the end of the day, I mean, he said something that was kind of interesting. He said, hey, Michael, why don't you go get Parsons and get him in here? I mean, they just need to get in a room. They need to get in a room. And they were talking on the field for a while at practice, but they need to get in a room and get this thing worked out, because, I mean, realistically for Parsons, he's not in the best position for negotiations. I mean, the Cowboys own his rights for 3 more years if they want it. And if they're offering you to be paid the highest non-quarterback, then if you've got to tweak the numbers, or if it's guaranteed just years and this and that, then work through that. I mean, let's work through that. But I don't know. And for Jerry to say the agent ripped it up and told him to shove it in his ass, I don't know if that's true. That seems a little far-fetched for me to believe. I know that God, I forgot his name, from the Steelers, Ryan Clark. He spoke to the agent, David, and he said that wasn't true. But I don't know what to believe. I mean, I've never seen something like this take place so publicly. I mean, you talk about Dak Prescott, that really wasn't a public thing. It wasn't a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of, hey, you know, he got franchised. He went to practice. He was doing all this stuff. So it was just kept very hush hush. Even CD held out, but you didn't get this feeling that you're getting now. And then the rumors flying, would they trade him? And I'll be honest, I'm exhausted. I am very pro player, but I'm exhausted on this. And I'm like, just do something. If you want to trade him, trade him. If he's not going to sign, then okay, let's not talk about it anymore. Because at the end of the day, in 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday, the Cowboys got to get ready for this season. And, you know, if he's here, I want him here. He's a big part of the team. And, you know, I got him on my wall. And I sure hate to take him down, but I'm getting to the point where I might have to take him down, because if he's not on this team, then he can't be represented in the cave right now. You understand? I mean, I have rules that go on in this cave. I cannot have ex-players or players that aren't contributing to this team represented in this cave right now. But I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work out. I think cooler heads are going to prevail. But I think they need to just talk. I think the agent works for Parsons, and the agent is not helping his player. Now, if he wants more money, they need to go in and they just need to have a conversation. They need to say, you know what? He needs to call him and say, Jerry, let's just get in here. Let's just have a conversation. We're 2 adults. This is business. And I'm very good at separating business from field. I don't. Like, when this season starts, if Parsons not on the field, then we're rolling with the 53 we got that's on the field and the 45 that are active. And it's time to play football. And you're going up against the defending Super Bowl champions. You don't have time for this bullshit. They need to have that focus. And that's why they just got to put this to bed one way or the other. And if it ain't meant to be, then, you know, the Cowboys are losing leverage on trade value, because the cap, you know, these teams are filling out their rosters. They're doing their things. You can get future draft picks, but it ain't going to help you this year. And, you know, and I find it hard to believe the Cowboys are going to be able to take that step without Micah Parsons on that field. I know we're deep in that position with edge rusher, but Micah Parsons is, like I said, he's one of the top players, if not the top player in the NFL on defense. I don't care what that top 100 bullshit says. Micah Parsons, when he's on the field, is a difference maker. And this is the other thing that makes me just kind of wonder, and maybe not doubt Jerry as much, is the Cowboys don't lose stars in their prime. I mean, they sign. And, you know, people always want to lump Emmitt Smith into this, but Emmitt Smith wasn't a holdout. He wasn't under contract. They were not agreeing to a contract. So that's where a lot of that came in. It wasn't he was holding out and he was under contract. He had no contract. And there was this weird thing at that time where you could take bids from other teams, but the Cowboys had the right to match it. So the Cowboys were playing this waiting game. No one wanted to sign or put an offer to Emmitt Smith because they just figured the Cowboys were going to match it, because Emmitt Smith talked to Don Shula and wanted to go down to the Dolphins. And Don Shula said that I'm not going to give we're not going to offer a deal because Jerry's just going to match it. And then what's going to happen is my players on my team are going to see what we offered you. And that's going to start a hornet's nest of problems because other people are going to be like, well, why ain't I getting paid that? So there was a lot of funky things that was going on back in the 90s. It wasn't as cut and dry as it is today with free agency and kind of the franchise tag and all that kind of, that was never around. So it was different. So, but who do you believe? I mean, do you believe Parsons? Do you believe Jerry? And Parsons hasn't really said a whole lot about it. He's been kind of subliminal messages and things like that. But I think Parsons is caught in the middle of a couple egos, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays itself out. I'm praying it gets done quickly, and let's just move on and let's focus on football because we're trying to get back to the promised land, and this isn't the way to start with a new coach and a culture he's trying to create. So I want to know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think, man. It's just crazy. It's just craziness, but this is the Dallas Cowboys, man. This is what Jerry wants. He says soap opera 365 days a year. So you're getting it. It just should have never got to this. It could have been handled a year ago. And I think that's where they made the mistake, and that things dragged out. And when you drag things out, things get muddy. And now it's getting muddy in the media. It's getting a war of words, and that is just not good. You're going to divide the locker room, divide the team. Just not no way to go. So give me your thoughts. Hopefully I see you guys tonight. We'll be out live watching some of the final preseason game together. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. I'll be seeing you in the cave. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend if I don't talk to you. See you.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.